the day, and if we're feeling like really bad about ourselves, or if our brain is just busted and it's got these shitty ass beliefs that I just never get a chance to take care of myself, like that might be on repeat. And so having it tracked on an app gives you that visual reminder that yes, you are in fact making progress with your self-care. And the biggest benefit that you're going to reap from this whole minimum baseline creation and practice is that you're going to see that you can make things that are important to you, practices that you want to have in your life, you can make them the priority. You will find a way. You will find time. The app has all kinds of reminders. You could just, even if you didn't want to download the app, and it's free. The app I'm talking about is called Habit. And you'll know it. It's a little pink box with a check mark and a circle around it. And it's a very simple, very intuitive app. And like I said, it's very adjustable. You can customize it any way you want. And some of the great functions and things that I like about this app is that it keeps all these statistics about the habits you're trying to build. It gives you that documentation, and it gives you a real sense of empowerment when you're taking care of yourself. And the reason I bring this up as a life hack that I really want you to try, even if you don't use the app, you can, just set alarms on your phone. You could even just print out a freaking paper calendar and check mark the days that you do the minimum baseline habit to keep track and see like how consistent are you with it. And then you can kind of gauge. And what this has done to help me is when I'm feeling really crappy about myself and all the old scripts and the negative thinking about myself comes back, I can look at my data and see with a very objective, a very curious mind of like, what's going on? Oh, I'm not hitting my minimum baselines. That's why I feel like shit. That's why I feel like my world is falling apart. That's where all this anxiety and depression, and that's where this cycle is coming from. I can feel it happening, right? For me personally, I've dealt with binge eating a lot in my life, and that comes from the cycle of push way too hard beyond my comfortability, and then wanting so desperately to get relief that I just eat myself into a coma to try and feel better. And it took a year worth of working with this data on my habits to figure that out. And that's what a minimum baseline will do. It's going to help take this big, giant concept of self-care, and it's going to micro-focus it on exactly what you need. Because you and I are different. We've got different backgrounds, different stories, different priorities, I'm sure. And so you need self-care that's tailored to what you're going for. Right now, my 4 habits and my minimum baseline includes drinking a minimum of 64 ounces of water every day, walking 10,000 steps, a minimum of 7 minutes of meditation, and completing what's called a 24-hour plan. Now, I've talked about my weight loss on this program before. I am a part of a program called the No BS Weight Loss System. The gal who runs it, her name is Corinne Crabtree. If you have some weight you'd like to lose, or if you're really working on your mindset regarding body image and the way you think, like she is a powerhouse guru and has this whole program where every day you create a 24-hour plan. And that alone, I mean, there's so much overlap in her program and self-care. So if it's something that you're interested in, I'll link it up. You can find her. It's Corinne Crabtree. But those 4 things, again, it's taken a year for me to consistently hit the goal on those 4 things. Now, I said consistently. I didn't say perfectly. Come on, y'all. This is not how to be perfect at self-care. We certainly the fuck don't want to apply perfectionism to how we take care of ourselves. Like, wrong way. You're going the wrong way. You're going the wrong way. It's really important to just take these concepts, apply them, do the work, right? Like, yay, I'm so glad you're listening to this podcast and you're taking time to really, give yourself that positive encouragement. But I implore you to, instead of just passively listen, right now, Write down your number one thing that you're going to do for a baseline, and commit to tracking that for at least 30 days. And really see how consistently are you meeting that minimum baseline, and use that data. That data is going to help you figure out the perfect blend of self-care for you to feel consistently good, consistently confident, consistently taken care of. Now, as far as how do you meet your minimum baseline, how do you achieve these goals every day? We'll get into that. We can do a whole podcast on that. But I believe in you, and I think you're creative enough. You can figure that part out for yourself. I leave it to you. In addition to the minimum baseline, something I wanted to talk about today, just real quickly before I sign off, I'm going to be traveling next week. I'm going to North Carolina to see my older brother. I'm so excited. We haven't been able to hang out for the holidays in several years. He's in the military. And just a quick shout out for Veterans Day. Thank you so much to all of the veterans who have served. But we're going to go visit him before the holidays hit and enjoy some family time. I think we're doing a cooking class, and I think we've got some Orange Theory fitness planned, which, it's a cult, but we're going to do it as a family, so it'll be fun. But I have previous episodes all about holiday crash plans, self-care through the holidays, self-care while traveling, all of that information. So if that's something you also are going to be experiencing in the next couple of weeks, please hit up the archives, download the podcast on the phone so that you can listen to it when you're in airplane mode or, going about your business. Because anytime you take this time to give yourself positive encouragement, to listen to affirming content, you are practicing self-care. And so I want to build on that momentum. I personally, when I have a win for the day, when I complete one of my minimum baselines, it gives me so much more drive and momentum to get creative on how I'm going to finish the other minimum baselines. So for example, if I do my meditation 7 minutes, or more a day, the minimum for me is 7 minutes. If I do that first thing in the morning and then I get to check it off on the app, I immediately feel so empowered that, okay, I only have 3 more things I need to get done today. And what's phenomenal about the minimum baseline is that when shit hits the fan, 'cause it's gonna, you really do get creative on how to meet those minimum requirements for yourself. And like I said, I can't say it enough. The practice has changed my life to the point where a lot of my energy and time in the past was spent on how do I make things better for other people? And then expecting those other people to make things better for me. And then getting really disappointed and depressed and upset when they fell short. And then resenting them and carrying around all this anger and frustration that they weren't meeting my needs. And that was unfair because I was doing all this work for them. When in the last year, it's really become clear to me by doing this actual work that I'm sharing with you. The reality is you are the only person who can make you feel better and valued and good about yourself. You are the only one in control and in charge of that. And don't be afraid of that. That is not something to make you like, oh God, what am I going to do? That's a lot of work. I don't want to be in charge of that. Don't think of it that way. Think of it like, wow, the power is in my hands. I have the control. What can I do today? What one thing will I absolutely do today? Even if it's 11:59 and you've only got a minute left, right? You're going to do whatever that minimum baseline is. And you're going to make it consistently a priority. And when you're new at it, do it first thing in the morning so that you can just check it off your list and get that momentum. And then get good at checking the next one off your list. And as you go along, what's going to naturally and organically happen is you're going to see that you start to have your own back. You start to believe in yourself. You start to create your own confidence, your own love, your own feel better. you start to create your own internal way of talking yourself off the ledge or talking yourself into doing the thing you need to do. Look, nobody's coming to rescue you. It's not your partner. It's not your mama. It's not your older brother. Nobody is coming to rescue you. It is your job. If you are down in the toilet with your thoughts about yourself, if you are having a really difficult time with anxiety, depression, all of that, yes, absolutely seek help if you need it. But in the meantime, why not try figuring out a minimum baseline so that you can help yourself? And I've said this before on the podcast, taking care of yourself, making yourself the priority, doing self-care. The reason it makes you so sexy and what is so sexy about it is because people who make self-care their priority, they don't need anything from anyone else. And that means no one else gets to control them. You know, the trade-off of helping everyone else before you help yourself is that you've just given them your power. And what I want to help you do is to take that power back, stand in that power, feel what that feels like, and come be a badass boss bitch like me who has transformed their life into not only preaching and talking about it, but really fucking living it. Really living it. Because self-care changes you. It helps you be more you. And that's what we need, friends. We need you to be more you. Because the more you there is, the better, more authentic, happier, fulfilled you, the more it gives me permission to do the same. And that's what we're about with this show. All right, friends, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have a story you'd like to share and you want to be on the show, please email me. It's Chris, Kris, at selfcareissexy.com. All right, stay tuned because we've got some great content coming your way. And remember that self-care is sexy. We're giving you permission to put yourself first.